You keep saying you want to win. You keep saying you want to be great. You keep saying you want success. But when I look at your schedule, when I look at your habits, when I look at how you spend your 24 hours, it doesn't match what's coming out of your mouth. You can't talk about elevation and still live on the ground floor. You can't say you're hungry for success and still keep feeding your distractions. You can't say you want it bad, then hit the snooze button 10 times. You can't say you're focused, then spend all night scrolling through other people's lives. Let me tell you something, you can't get championship results with recreational effort. Time, that's your real currency. Not money, not luck, not opportunity. Time, you can always make another dollar, but you can never make another minute. Every second that passes is gone forever, and once it's gone, you don't get to rewind it, you don't get to borrow it, you don't get to buy it back. Every second you waste is a seed of success you never planted. And right now, while you're debating, while you're hesitating, somebody else is working. Somebody else is studying, somebody else is creating, somebody else is taking the same 24 hours you have and building an empire with it. And the reason they're ahead of you isn't because they're better. It's because they respect time more than you do. See, time don't care about your excuses. It don't care about your story. It don't care about your mood. The clock don't pause when you're tired. It don't stop when you feel overwhelmed. It keeps moving, tick by tick, second by second, and if you don't start moving with it, you get left behind. You can't keep wasting hours like you got unlimited chances. You can't keep saying tomorrow like tomorrow's guaranteed. Tomorrow is a liar. It keeps promising and never delivering. The only thing you have is today, right now, this moment. What you do with this moment decides what your future looks like. Most people lose not because they didn't have talent, not because they didn't have opportunity, but because they wasted too much time thinking about it instead of doing something about it. They sit around planning the perfect moment, waiting for the perfect energy, waiting for motivation to magically appear, and while they wait, life moves on. The winners, they don't wait to feel ready. They use what they have where they are, and they go. They respect time too much to waste it on someday. They turn one day into day one. You've got to start seeing time for what it really is, your most valuable investment. Every minute you spend is a trade. You're trading your time for something. So ask yourself, are you trading it for growth? Or are you trading it for comfort? Are you trading it for progress? Or are you trading it for pleasure? Every trade has a cost, and some of you are bankrupting your future by wasting time on things that don't even serve you. You're watching other people live their dreams while yours collect dust. You're entertaining distractions when you should be executing discipline. You're surviving when you should be thriving, all because you don't treat your time like gold. You've got to protect your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Every great comeback, every story of success, every break through moment starts with one decision. I'm done wasting time. The moment you respect time, everything changes. Your energy changes, your focus sharpens, your habits transform. You start moving with urgency. You start cutting off the nonsense. You start saying no to the things that don't align with your goals. You start waking up before the world does, because you realize while they sleep, you eat. While they rest, you rise. Stop being casual with your purpose. Casual effort never leads to exceptional results. You can't be great with half-hearted commitment. You can't live like it's optional and expect results like it's mandatory. If you want to start winning, you've got to move like it matters. You've got to start treating every day like it's a job interview for your destiny. Every sunrise is another chance for you to prove how bad you want it. You don't need motivation every day. You need a standard. You need to say, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is how I move. You've been saying, I'll do it later, for too long. Later has become your comfort zone. Later has become your identity. Later is stealing your dreams in slow motion. You think you have time, but what if you don't? What if this was your last week to chase your goals? Would you still be scrolling, still be doubting, still be delaying? Or would you move like your future depended on it? Because it does. I'm telling you right now, stop waiting for the perfect time. It doesn't exist. The perfect time is when you decide to stop wasting the one you've got. Every second matters, every choice counts. You've got the same 24 hours as the greats, the same hours as the legends, the same hours as the ones who made it happen. The difference isn't the clock, it's the commitment. So stop talking about what you want and start proving it with how you spend your time. Because when you start respecting time, time starts rewarding you. It starts opening doors. It starts compounding your effort. It starts paying you back in success, in growth, in peace, in power. The ones who win don't have more time, they just don't waste it. So stop wasting time and start winning. The clock is ticking and it's not waiting for you. You keep saying you're built to win, but every time it's time to execute, you pull out an excuse. You say you're tired. You say it's not fair. You say you don't have the same resources, the same support, the same opportunities. But hear me, excuses don't win championships. Execution does. You can have the best vision in the world, the biggest dream on the planet, but if you don't execute, it's nothing more than a wish. You can't keep living in almost. You can't keep saying I was about to. Almost never made anybody a champion. Execution did. Every excuse you make builds a wall between you and your purpose, and every time you repeat that excuse, that wall gets higher. Before you know it, you've trapped yourself inside your own story, a story where you're always the victim, always the one who almost made it, always the one who could have been great. But listen, nobody writes history books about the people who almost did it. History remembers the ones who executed despite the odds. You've got 24 hours just like every winner you admire. Same sun, same clock, same rotation. The difference isn't time, it's usage. The difference is mindset. While you're saying I can't because, somebody else is saying I must regardless. Winners use pain as fuel. They use the struggle as proof they're alive. They use obstacles as opportunities to show the world what they're made of. But most people, they use excuses as pillows. They lay down in their potential, get comfortable in their mediocrity, and call it rest. Stop letting comfort talk you out of commitment. You keep saying you're waiting for motivation, but motivation isn't coming. Motivation is the result of motion. You move first, you act first, you execute first, and the motivation catches up. You've got to show your mind who's in charge. You've got to stop negotiating with your weakness. Every time you choose the easier path, you train your mind to surrender. Every time you execute despite the feeling, you train your mind to dominate. You say you want success, but are you willing to do the boring stuff consistently? Are you willing to stay up an extra hour when your body's screaming sleep? Are you willing to study when everybody else is out? Are you willing to do it when nobody's watching? Because that's where execution lives, in the unseen, the uncelebrated, the unrewarded grind. Champions aren't crowned in front of the crowd. They're crowned in the dark, when nobody claps, when nobody posts about it, when nobody notices but them and the clock. Excuses sound best to the one making them. They comfort you for a moment and cost you for a lifetime. You keep saying you don't have time. Check your screen time. You say you don't have energy. Check your diet, your mindset, your purpose. You say you're waiting for the right opportunity. But what if the right opportunity is waiting for you to show up prepared? Execution turns one day into day one. There's somebody out there with less than you doing more than you because they stopped explaining and started executing. They didn't wait for approval, didn't wait for help, didn't wait for perfect. They just went to work. You've got to stop chasing validation and start chasing results. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you the dream. If you want it, go earn it, and the currency is execution. Stop saying I'm trying. Trying is an excuse in disguise. You either do it or you don't. You either execute or you evaporate. Life rewards those who move with urgency. The world doesn't owe you anything, but it will pay you for your effort. You've got to be so locked in that even your distractions get tired of chasing you. Execution is about discipline. It's doing what you said you'd do long after the feeling that made you say it is gone. It's keeping promises to yourself. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's repetition. It's showing up when nobody calls. It's putting in reps when the results aren't visible yet. You've got to learn to love that phase, the invisible grind. Because that's the phase that separates talkers from doers, dreamers from achievers, pretenders from performers. You've got to stop letting your emotions control your execution. Feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. You don't get paid for how you feel, you get paid for what you do. Every time you act on discipline instead of emotion, you become stronger. Every time you execute instead of explain, you move closer to your breakthrough. And here's the truth, execution hurts. It's supposed to. Growth hurts. Discipline hurts. Change hurts. But so does regret. You've got to choose your pain. The pain of execution lasts for a moment. The pain of regret lasts forever. The grind doesn't promise you comfort, but it does promise you growth. It does promise you progress. It does promise you power. Every single day you wake up, life gives you a test. You may not see it, but it's there. It's not written on paper, and it doesn't have multiple choice answers. It's written in your actions, and the results show up in your life. The test is simple. Will you do what you said you would do? Will you show up when it's hard? Will you stay consistent when it's uncomfortable? Will you keep moving when nobody's watching? Every day is that test, and some of you keep failing it, not because you don't know what to do, but because you keep choosing what's easy over what's right. You keep repeating the same cycle. You say you want to grow, you say you want change, but the moment it gets tough, you retreat back into comfort. You quit right before you pass. You quit right before the breakthrough. Life keeps giving you the same challenges, the same lessons, the same pain, not because it's punishing you, but because you keep walking away before you learn what you're supposed to learn. That's why you feel stuck. That's why you keep running into the same wall. You're not cursed, you're just being retested. Every day you wake up is a chance to pass the test, but you can't pass it doing the same things that keep you average. You can't pass it when you keep pressing snooze on your purpose. You can't pass it when you're loyal to your comfort zone. You've got to get to a point where you look at your reflection and say, no more retakes. Because when you fail the test of discipline, you repeat the lesson of regret. Life doesn't care what you say you want, it cares what you prove you're willing to fight for. You can't pray for success and then sleep through opportunity. You can't talk about goals and then ghost your grind. You've got to match your dreams with your decisions. Every day is a test of alignment. Do your actions match your ambitions? Because if they don't, your results will expose you. You think you're waiting on blessings, but blessings are waiting on you to pass the test of consistency, the test of commitment, the test of patience, the test of integrity when no one's watching. You keep asking for more, but God, the universe, life, whatever you believe in, won't promote you to the next level until you pass the one you're on. You want success, but can you handle responsibility? You want more money, but can you manage discipline? You want freedom, but can you handle focus? Every test has a purpose, and every purpose requires proof. You can't keep skipping steps and expect elevation. Growth has levels, character has stages. Every test is training you for the next one. When you fail, don't fold, learn. Every loss has a lesson inside it. But some of you keep losing the same fight because you never stop long enough to ask why. You get mad, you get emotional, you blame the situation. But the truth is, you didn't study the lesson life was trying to teach you. You've got to stop taking failure personally and start taking it professionally. Failure isn't the end, it's feedback. It's life saying you're close, but you're missing something. The winners, they listen to the feedback. They adjust, they evolve, they prepare better, they show up stronger next time. They don't fear the test, they use it to sharpen their edge. Every day you wake up, you've got a decision to make. Are you going to keep repeating the same grade, or are you going to graduate to greatness? Because let's be real, some of you have been repeating the same year for the last 5, the same goals, the same habits, the same excuses, the same distractions. You talk like you're advancing, but your life looks like a rerun. You keep starting over because you keep stopping when it gets hard. You've got to flip the mindset. Instead of saying, "Why does this keep happening to me?" say, "What is this trying to teach me?" Because the moment you learn the lesson, the test changes. You stop being reactive and start being responsible. You stop being emotional and start being effective. That's how growth works. You can't outrun the test. You can only pass it by transforming. Every champion you admire had to pass the test. The test of discipline when nobody believed in them, the test of faith when doors closed, the test of endurance when they were tired of fighting. The difference between winners and quitters isn't talent, it's tenacity. It's the ability to keep showing up for the test until they get it right. Some of you keep asking, "When is my time?" It's when you pass your test. It's when you stop complaining about the same things and start correcting them. It's when you stop talking about potential and start performing with purpose. You can't skip struggle and expect success. You can't avoid pain and expect progress. The test is there to make sure you can handle what you're asking for. Stop failing because of laziness. Stop failing because of distractions. Stop failing because of fear. You're better than that. You're built for more than that. You've got greatness sitting inside of you waiting for you to finally pass the test and unlock it. You've been repeating the same season, but this time it's different. This time you're not running, you're not giving up, you're not settling. This time you're passing. And when you finally pass the test, when you finally stay consistent, when you finally follow through, when you finally hold yourself accountable, that's when life opens up. That's when doors appear that weren't there before. That's when momentum kicks in because life rewards growth. Life rewards the student who studies and shows up prepared. So the next time life hits you with a test, the disappointment, the delay, the doubt, don't fold. Don't retreat. Don't say, "Here we go again." Instead, stand up and say, "This time I'm ready," because every time you pass, you rise. Every time you learn, you level up. Every day is a test. Pass it or repeat it. The choice is yours. The clock is ticking. Every second that passes is one you'll never get back. You feel it, don't you? That pressure in your chest, that quiet voice saying you're running out of time. That's not fear, that's your purpose calling, that's your potential knocking, that's the reminder that you don't have forever to get it done. You can't keep living like you've got unlimited chances. You can't keep saying one day. One day is a dream killer. One day is the language of procrastination. If you want to win, you've got to stop letting time slip through your fingers and start using every second like your life depends on it, because it does. You've got to understand something. Pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is your proof that you still have a shot. The fact that you feel that urgency means there's still time left on the clock, but you can't waste that time running from pressure. You've got to learn how to turn pressure into power, because pressure is what separates the average from the elite. The average fold when it gets heavy, the elite focus. The average break down, the elite break through. The average fear the moment, the elite feed off it. When the clock's ticking and the world's watching, that's when champions are made. That's when the best in you shows up. Anybody can perform when it's easy, but it's the pressure that reveals your power. It's the weight that wakes up your strength. Some of you keep praying for an easier life when what you really need is stronger shoulders. Stop asking for less pressure and start asking for more discipline. Stop asking for more time and start asking for more urgency. Pressure is your reminder that your purpose matters. It's proof that your dream is alive. If you didn't care, you wouldn't feel the weight. But too many people let that weight crush them instead of carry them. They let deadlines discourage them instead of drive them. They let fear slow them down instead of speed them up. You've got to flip it. You've got to turn the fear of time running out into the fuel that makes you move faster. Every tick of the clock is not a countdown to panic, it's a countdown to progress. You keep saying, I'll start when I'm ready. No, you start now, and readiness catches up later. You'll never feel perfectly ready. You'll never have the perfect plan. You'll never have all the answers. But if you move, if you take that first step, if you act with urgency, time will start working for you instead of against you. When you hesitate, time becomes your enemy. When you execute, time becomes your ally. You've got to stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is seasonal. Discipline is forever. The clock doesn't care if you're inspired. It keeps moving. It doesn't pause because you're tired. It doesn't slow down because you're scared. It's ticking whether you move or not. So you've got two choices. Waste time watching it or use time to win with it. Some of you are living like you've got unlimited time, like the opportunity will wait for you, like the world's going to slow down until you're ready. It's not. Opportunity doesn't wait, it expires, and if you don't seize it, somebody else will. Somebody who's hungrier, somebody who's focused, somebody who's tired of making excuses. You can't keep watching other people win and telling yourself, my time is coming. Your time isn't coming, your time is now. You've just got to stop sleeping on it. The clock is a teacher. It teaches you urgency. It teaches you focus. It teaches you gratitude, because when you realize your time is limited, you stop wasting it on the wrong people, the wrong habits, the wrong mindset. You start cutting off distractions. You start saying no to average. You start moving with intention. Every day becomes precious. Every minute becomes a weapon. That's when you start winning, when you stop taking time for granted. You've got to wake up like your future depends on today, because it does. You've got to move like your next breath depends on this moment, because it might. Every second is a seed. If you plant it with effort, you'll harvest greatness. If you waste it with excuses, you'll reap regret. And regret is the heaviest pressure of all, the kind that comes when the clock finally stops and you realize you never gave your best. So turn the pressure into purpose, turn the fear into focus, turn the ticking clock into your soundtrack. When you feel that pressure, don't run, lean in. When you feel like time's running out, sprint harder. When you feel like it's too late, remind yourself, as long as you're breathing, it's not over. Every second is a second chance to turn it around. And listen, the winners, the real ones, they live with urgency. They don't wait for the right time, they make it the right time. They don't waste hours debating, they decide and they do. They don't run from the clock, they race it. They compete with it, they make time respect them through relentless execution. That's how you shift from pressure to power. The truth is, one day the clock will stop, one day your time will run out, but before that day comes, make sure when it stops ticking, you don't. Make sure when your clock ends, your legacy starts. You can't control how much time you get, but you can control what you do with it. So use it, protect it, maximize it, make every minute count. Stop watching the clock. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop running from the weight of pressure. You were built for this. You were made for this. You were created to take that pressure, that urgency, that fear, and turn it into fire. So the next time you hear that tick, 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 don't panic, smile, because it means you've still got a chance. You've still got time to make it happen. You've still got time to change your story. The clock is ticking, but it's not too late. Turn the pressure into power, turn the seconds into success, and start winning before time runs over.